Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Oliveira. Welcome back to another combat sports related video here today. And today, as we all know, I'm sure if you're a combat sports fan like myself, UFC 262 is about 72 hours away. All right, so we got Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira fighting for the vacant lightweight title once held by the greatest lightweight of all time, Khabib Nurmagomedov. It is now on the line, and these two are going to be fighting for that belt. Now, Charles Oliveira is a longtime UFC vet, and Michael Chandler, as we all know, made his debut against Dan Hooker and had quite the display with a first-round KO. Pretty impressive, I must say. Very explosive guy. But today we're going to be looking at a promo by the Great Dre Studio. Shout out to them. They're one of the very best on YouTube, so check them out if you want to see promos. This is UFC 262, Oliveira versus Chandler extended promo. So I can't wait to see this. But before we begin, any love is greatly appreciated. Hit that like button, turn on bell notifications, stay tuned with yours truly. And if you are new and you enjoy, and maybe it's your first time seeing the kid, hit that sub button, man. And once you do, you become part of the family forever. But let's not waste any more time. Screen. Let's watch this promo, man. Let's get hyped. All right, I believe this is Chandler and Bellator. Most definitely.
There clearly is a lot of speculation as to what you're going to do next. If you had your choice to decide whether or not you will re-sign with Bellator, or if you're going to jump ship, go to the UFC, where is your heart at right now? What is it that you're hoping that will happen? We're gonna make the best decision possible.
Michael Chandler, kind of a big name.
I'm assuming that was his last fight in the Bellator against Benson Henderson, who is a legend, by the way.
That you're interested in maybe bringing to the UFC.
I would love to meet with him. Yeah, the guy's earned it, man. I'd love to meet with him.
I'm a fan of the best fighters in the world getting together, and whatever we have to do to facilitate that, that's what I want to see happen.
Michael Chandler looks like he's going to the UFC.
We just signed Michael Chandler, and he is now part of the UFC family.
I want to get thrown into the lion's den. I want to get thrown into the shark-infested waters.
Michael Chandler is now the backup fighter for the title fight.
There is the great Khabib Nurmagomedov, man. Greatest lightweight of all time, no question.
I want a top 5, top 6 guy right away.
The UFC's putting a lot of stock in on this kid.
This is the biggest mixed martial arts sports promotion in the entire world, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
You don't want your new toy to just sit on the shelf. You want him to be on display as early as possible. Ferguson kind of
well said by DC, most definitely.
He's like, you know what? I want to fight that guy. Let's do it December 12th. So they go to the UFC, say December 12th. UFC tells Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler's book, he's fighting on January 23rd. Michael Chandler does an interview and says, I'll fight Tony Ferguson on January 23rd. Tony Ferguson says, hey, you're already booked. What are you talking about? And so there's all this confusion. In the end, he's like, you know what? I'm moving on. I'm going to go fight Charles Oliveira on December 12th at UFC 256.
I was the only guy to accept this fight, last minute. I knew it was going to be a really tough fight, but 2021, I'm coming.
I must say, I feel pretty bad for Tony Ferguson, y'all. He's had a losing streak, never got the chance to fight Khabib for that belt. Very disappointing.
Without a doubt, no matter what, I mean, the guy's one of the best in the world right now, and the nastiest division in the sport, so.
The boss already said whoever won this fight would be in a great position in first place to fight for the belt. And, when Conor and Poirier fight in January, I'm going to be watching. I'm going to just be waiting to see who's going to fight me.
So yesterday, speaking of hanging on every word, was your anticipated sit-down with Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Basically, the way that he feels right now is he's accomplished everything he's wanted to.
Khabib's retired. I mean, he's done. He's a man of his word, in my opinion.
In his last fight against Tony Ferguson. So next Saturday, we got the McGregor-Poirier fight and Chandler and Hooker on there. So
Trilogy, July 10th, by the way, folks. McGregor versus Poirier.
He said I would never tie up the division.
Okay.
I would never tie up the division, hold the belt, keep the belt away from anybody else. These guys do something spectacular. Show me something spectacular.
Wow.
And make me want to come back and fight. This fight with Poirier is trending bigger than the fight with you and Conor on pay-per-view. Imagine what you and Conor would do in another fight.
Oh my god. Dana wanted him to fight Conor so bad again. Come on, man. Conor definitely doesn't deserve that now.
Yeah, these guys are all going to fight it out, and
we'll narrow it down to the two guys that will face off for the title.
I tell y'all this is the greatest moment in my professional life. Conor McGregor, surprise, surprise, there's a new king in the lightweight division. Dustin Poirier, your time is coming, and Khabib, if you ever do see fit to grace us with your presence back here in the UFC octagon, in your quest for 30, you know you gotta beat somebody. So beat me if you can.
Yeah, there is his UFC debut against Dan Hooker. Very well done, I must add. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared for him right there. I thought I was gonna tear his ACL when he did the backflip. But it was a great moment for him. Definitely deserves, you know, this notoriety.
Guys come into the UFC for the first time. They usually have a rough, you know, first time on the big stage. He didn't. Listen, man, when you get the platform that we had tonight, you make the most of it. And that kid did. Some people did tonight and some didn't.
Khabib
Most
told me
definitely.
that he planned to meet with you here. What the situation with lightweight title now?
Yeah, we're gonna have dinner on Saturday or Sunday, and then you know, just talk and see.
Now, there's been a lot of talk about Chandler because of his big opening fight in the UFC. He's got the spectacular knockout of Hooker. There's a lot of talk about him fighting for the title soon.
Maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe it'll be a lackluster performance. All these things that human beings go through. We all go through these crazy thoughts. Why not just let it fly? Why not just believe that you are the best in the world? Why not just believe that you can accomplish anything?
That's the mentality you definitely have to have in the highest of levels of combat sports, for sure.
You know, me and Dustin possibly for the title next. Who knows? Like even the fact that I'm getting talked about at next fight being for the title. That being said, that's great news.
You mentioned that a fight with Michael Chandler doesn't really interest you at the moment. What does interest you? Would you rather just do a rematch with Conor? Would you like to look elsewhere? What does interest you?
I mean, a rematch with Conor interests me.
Khabib Nurmagomedov, the UFC lightweight champ, has made it official. We have seen the last fight from him.
Yeah, no, listen, I told you I was gonna hammer on him for a while and try to get him to come back and fight. We got together. We had some great talks. We talked about lots of things, and he was ready to retire. And I think he's done. I don't think he'll come back.
Khabib retired today. Are you all done? Khabib retired.
Yeah, he's officially retired, y'all. Unfortunately, greatest lightweight I've ever seen.
When a guy comes in from another organization like Chandler and just immediately jumps up to the top of the heap, but do you think it makes sense for him to fight for a title really quickly when there's all these guys like Charles Oliveira in particular that have had to pay their dues?
I'm not in a position to call it, but he just needs to cut his teeth in the UFC a little bit longer.
Is it safe to say that Dustin versus Conor 3 is kind of in the offing coming up?
You know, Dustin wants to rematch. That's smart. That's what he should do.
Conor Poirier.
Money fight. I mean, I can't blame the guy.
He wanted, I should say, the trilogy fight with McGregor. He wanted that to happen, and he wanted that for a title. I think that's what he wanted. Not just the one before, but now this one.
And for Dana White,
That's not gonna happen. Conor is not deserving of the belt whatsoever.
Whatsoever. Didn't know was in the works. Dana nailed this.
We end up with Michael Chandler versus Oliveira for the lightweight title. Did Khabib have any input into who was going to fight for the belt?
No.
This fight, Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler, it is impossible to dislike.
Trying to go back to fighting.
Now a guy that can go with anybody, and those mental lapses that he would have before are of the past.
I believe Oliveira is a very underrated striker. I think his striking has improved quite a bit over the last couple of years. And he's a very well-rounded fighter, most definitely.
He's found a way to stay calmer long, but I would still argue for him. He likes it right off the bat, particularly if he can catch you with something to catch you when you're driving. Getting pretty reckless with his hands and feet out there, and I mean reckless in a complimentary way. There's the tap! Charles Oliveira does it again!
Oliveira doesn't have a weakness in his game either. You know, his stand-up is nasty as
Yes, I agree.
These are two super elite lightweights. That fight is going to be amazing.
I've known that I could beat these guys literally for the last decade. I've known this.
Michael Chandler, he is good. He really is good. He's very talented.
Really good.
He's explosive. He's fast.
Nice suplex.
Chandler does not have a fill-out process.
He's got the rear naked. That is tight. That is
these guys, and I promise you they don't live their life like I do. I promise you they don't put the amount of work and emphasis into living the championship lifestyle like I do.
And once that fight hits the ground, people are going to realize how physically strong Michael Chandler is when he gets on top of people and just mauls.
You know, when you talk about getting the opportunity to fight for the UFC title, it's life-changing. It's a life-changing opportunity. It's time to get focused.
Wow. Should be very interesting. I'm very intrigued by this matchup. There you guys have that one, man. That was well done by Dress Studios. All right, so I got to get my 2 cents on this fight and my prediction. So, obviously, you know, things have went perfectly for Michael Chandler, right? If Dustin had a different mindset, he'd be fighting Oliveira. It wouldn't be Chandler. But I can't blame Dustin Poirier for wanting the money fight. He's going to earn millions of dollars from that. Conor McGregor is the money fight. Biggest name in the sport and quite possibly the biggest name in combat sports, period. So I don't blame Dustin for wanting that fight. I know a lot of the hardcores aren't happy with him for doing that. But hey, he's got to earn his money at the end of the day. He's got to provide for his family and give his family financial security. So now that that's out of the way. Michael Chandler. A lot of people saying he isn't deserving of the title, right? Well, he did knock out Dan Hooker. There is Justin Gaethje out there. I wouldn't mind if it was him against Oliveira, but I'm not, overly upset about this. All right, Chandler is a vet. He's paid his dues. Maybe not in the UFC, but in the MMA world, he has. He's done what he has. He's done what he has to do. So he's going to be facing Oliveira. Now, for y'all that didn't know, Oliveira is quite the specimen, man. He has, out of his 30 victories, he has 27 finishes, 19 by submission. 19 by submission, that's a lot, and 8 by knockout. So this guy knows how to finish. He has an act for finishing, right? And I believe Chandler has around 10 knockouts. He has 10 knockouts, 10 wins by knockout, and I believe around 8 by submission. So both these guys are capable. Obviously, Chandler hasn't fought in the UFC very long. Now let me get something straight here. The UFC is the MLB of MMA. It is the top of the top of the top. Now there is fighters within Bellator and other organizations that are world class, like Pitbull, like that guy from Bellator who beat Chandler, I believe. Douglas Lima. There's a few guys out there, but UFC is where the killers are all at, most of them. So Chandler is being fed to the wolves. He passed his first test. You got to give him that with flying colors, I might add. Destroyed Hooker in the best possible scenario. That was the best possible scenario for Chandler, right? So now he has a chance at gold. He has a chance at gold against a very good fighter. Now, my prediction here, to get into the technical aspects here. Chandler's very explosive. Very great, very good wrestler. I believe at NCAA Division I wrestler. I think in college that he was. So he's a very good wrestler. But Oliveira is a nasty, world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu submission artist. He's a practitioner in Jiu-Jitsu. And I might add that he also is a good striker. He has nasty striking. I believe he's kind of incorporated his striking very well to complement his ground game. I think he's became very well-rounded. Everything mixes well. His striking, his takedown defense, his takedown offense, his ground game. It all meshes up very nicely to make him a very well-rounded fighter. So that's a huge problem for Chandler. Chandler, I don't know if he even wants to wrestle this guy. Now, I'm not sure how good Chandler's jiu-jitsu is. Admittedly, I haven't seen much of him, to be honest. I don't watch Bellator like that. I watch UFC. So I believe if I have to go out on a limb here, I'm going to say maybe get the takedown as something to gain, to get you points in the fight and stick to the stand-up game against Oliveira. But Oliveira is good at stand-up as well. So this is a very interesting matchup, and I'm leaning towards Oliveira. Okay. Now, the recency bias hasn't hit me. I'm not going to say, Chandler's a killer. Now, he is a killer. But what I'm saying is I'm not letting recency bias get the best of me and say, Chandler's going to knock him out. I'm not saying that. I think Oliveira wins this fight. And these are my predictions. My prediction is he wins by either decision, if it doesn't go to the ground very long, or he wins by submission in the later rounds. I think that's my prediction. Could Chandler win? Absolutely. He's explosive as they come. he could just charge Oliveira and knock him out. Who knows what he could do? Maybe he's a better jiu-jitsu practitioner than I am assuming. So there's just questions we can't really answer until the day of. But I got Chandler winning. Excuse me, I got Oliveira winning by submission in round 4. I'm gonna say 4 just to be specific, or he wins by decision if the fight stays standing. You know, I think both of them are world class. I think both of them are some of the best lightweights on the entire planet. But I think Oliveira has been there and done that with the very best. It's been tested against the very best in the MLB of MMA that is the UFC. So that's my prediction, guys. Let me know if I'm way off, if you think I'm full of shit, or if you agree in the comments. And let me know of any other video recommendations that you guys might have. But yeah, guys, it's going to wrap it up. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. I hope you enjoyed my prediction. But I'll catch you in the next video. So this is Jay signing out. Peace.